Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to an SP Reacts where today we have ourselves a track from an act named Sullee J titled Burn It Down. And if we switch over to here, we have ourselves a track on the screen here on YouTube, the official music video. We're going to listen through it from start to finish and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go, let's do it. Straight into it. Loving the drama with the brass stabs and the strings.
With fire, I'm living my life and I'm bringing the heat. Tired of all this commotion, you liars are rapping about and it's sickening me. I've been a part of this game for so long and I finally found it a trigger for me. I do not say what I don't really feel, what I feel in my heart is appealing to me. Picked up the pen and I lit up the pad. Took every thought that I feel in my head, gave it a target and spit it with wrath. Never submitted to fear in my path. I was the boy with the trouble, they couldn't control me. They saw me and struggled, don't know me. And even though it ain't come easy, I'm humble but foolish. It's not in my cloth when I hustle, I'm coming.
I'm in a triplet flow.
I'm nothing, the formula, bluffing them all in the core of the earth. Yeah, pressure is forming, the Lord is at work. I'm swimming through waves in the foreign attire. They after me, knowing my origin higher. I'm flourishing, soaring through all of the quiet. The flow is no more, and my soul is on fire. Yeah, tell me to bleed. Yeah,
great break.
Give me the pain. Yeah, built me a storm and I'm covered in rain. Blood in the vein, light up in torches. I walk in the crowd, Sullee insane, talking about ripping through everything, digging your crevices, tear up your ligaments, cutting appendages, eat all the remnants, spitting the evidence. I've been the product. Was in the womb, cousin the doom, all of the rage, I will invade, lying to all of you fraudulent game. Yeah, pull out the steel, yeah, lock and load, aim it at all of these hypocrites blow, feeling inspired, delivering flow, lit up the sky with an infinite glow. This is my time in the discipline show. I'm not defined by your ignorance, no. I'm at the shine in the industry, no. I'm not the one that you play with. How you my sign of divinity? Whoa, yeah, hop on the plane, yeah, surfing the clouds, yeah, feeling with fire. It down, this is my time, I will not lose. I go to war with only you fools. I'ma take everything, don't be confused. All of it's mine, I'm breaking the rules. Yeah, hop on the plane, yeah, surfing the clouds, yeah, feeling with fire, yeah, burning it down. This is my time, I will not lose. I go to war with only you fools. I'ma take everything, don't be confused. All of it's mine, I'm breaking the rules. Sullee, yeah, what is you doing? Stop with the craze, why do you ruin everything, right? Cause everything's wrong. Didn't I say how I feel in the song? I do not care about leading you on.
Great use of dynamic range here.
Why am I here? I don't belong. Get off the drugs, man, what do you want? I'm revving the engine, bringing the hell of a vengeance. This is the venom, I'm feeling my flow. Murder your rappers with eminent glow. This is the rap from the Exodus, yo. Prophecy back with the evident blow. It's looking like hell, fill it with clowns. I burn them, I'm burning them down. Rising from under, I'm coming profound. Diamond is holy, I put on my crown. Came with a weapon, I'm pressing the sound. Spirit inside of me humming right now. I do not fear anyone on the ground. Beat 'em, I beat 'em, I beat 'em, I may. Take 'em all up in the grave. Tell me, yeah, I need a therapy session. Tell me, I barely checking. I mix me your powders and pills. Pray, hard to be me, but still I say, no matter the struggle, I won't give up. My heart is a beast, come on, pick up whatever it takes. Hitting the brakes, take me a moment, then back to the race. Yeah, this is the life. Yeah, do what I want. Yeah, living the dream. Yeah, king on the scene. I hustle like I got no weight in my pocket. I never let nobody tell me my option. I feel like myself when this music is dropping. They label me crazy, I don't see the problem. Yeah, hop on the plane. Yeah, surfing the clouds. Yeah, feeling with fire. Yeah, burning it down. This is my time, I will not lose. I go to war with all of you fools. I'ma take everything, don't be confused. All of it's mine, I'm breaking the rules. Yeah, hop on the plane.
Great vocal stuttering there. A little bit of extra kind of grit with the distortion or kind of synthetic fuzziness there. And the pizzicatos return. With a bit of filtering on the end. No, that was stunning. So I do try not to just sit there kind of silent the entire time because I just there's no room to kind of interject. There's no room there. It's very much a start to finish kind of thing. You were just having an entire smooth experience with the variations in the composition, the performance, and the production. But I mean, it's a positive thing. We're going to talk about it more in the conclusion. Because welcome to the conclusion of my review of this track from an act named Sullee J, titled Burn It Down. Now, what do we think this track is about? I think this track is about someone who, as a musician, as a rapper, as an artist, is willing to do whatever it takes to just burn it all down. Sort of the building they're sort of housed in, get rid of the ceilings, etc. Do whatever they need to in order to get to where they want to be, climb over whatever, really just make it their own. I think it describes both interpersonal relationships as well as just generally the music industry in general, because it's just so important nowadays to make your mark on it, especially if you want a chance within the industry. And while it's not an unusual thing for people to talk about in this kind of music, I do appreciate the way that Sullee J approaches it. It's not because part of what sells it so well is not just the rapping, but how we rap and how we integrate it into the rest of the composition. So I think first of all, the flow that we have with the triplets for the vast majority of the time, with occasional quarter notes or held notes, or that kind of one there, just that bit of almost onomatopoeic kind of stuff going on there, the sounds, the vocal sounds, as opposed to a storytelling device. That kind of held note across the triplet repetition with the phrasings there almost being hypnotic, but with its pulse, but nonetheless, there is variations in the intensity of certain parts as well to help sell it. I think it's great to have that consistency because it doesn't really give the listener room to breathe. They're kind of stuck there waiting. Is he going to keep going or is he going to need a breath? And that's testament to their skill level as a rapper, as a vocalist, because it's very difficult to both do it that cleanly and that clearly. A lot of people, especially when they're starting out, will stumble over their words and have difficulties there, but we did not have this with them. It was very clean. It was impressive. I think as well, having the distorted takes later on was really neat because it added almost a monstrous feel to what he was discussing there. It was an additional texture and layer to what was going on vocally, and I appreciate the polish there unconditionally. And there's a little bit of vocal fry at some point as well, a little bit kind of sass and sort of like sizzle to it that is like a kind of more of an intense, passionate kind of thing. You can tell he really cares what he's doing and he's not wanting to get messed around by anyone. He's the one taking control. And just the part where we had the filtered vocals at the start before the main sort of verse and chorus sections, with well segmented parts there, just on the phone call, just to kind of contrast with the more direct parts there. Without the filtering, it was neat. It just set an interesting precedent and added to the atmosphere established by the instruments in the instrumental intro. I think another thing that really kind of worked in the song's favor is the instrumental layers. So I think the pizzicato strings added a sense of drama and tension with the minor leanings, and the harmonica melodic minors there added an exotic kind of angsty feel to it. The mixture of staccato notes with the plucked ones going into like the kind of held notes as well, going along with the choirs that come in on the sides there with those wonderful sort of chords in mid to upper range, and the brass stabs with a bit of kind of like danger to them, like almost a growl to those. That was nice and kind of like menacing. It adds a sense of power instrumentally to what Sullee J is doing on top. And just the 808s in the low end, they provided a nice ground bed for everything on top. It was very authoritative because of the way things were panned in the stereo field, and that's a production thing I'll talk about in a moment. With the brass and the strings and the vocals on the sides, you had Sullee J in the center, and the 808s in terms of the pitch they were at were well below them, so they stacked nicely within the frequency spectrum. And I think it was that the brass accented certain starts of the notes, and the strings kept going in a similar rhythmic flow to what Sullee J was doing on the microphone. It was also that in terms of the drum kit, I loved the sound, the tone of the drum kit and how it worked with everything else. It was a nice sense of groove with a triplet flow with the hi-hat, snares, and kicks there. But it was relatively subdued, or at least wasn't trying to be too dominant over everything else in the mix. In fact, the drums just weren't there sometimes. And I think that was really effective because it almost said, hey, I'm confident enough in my composition to not need to have additional sort of like rhythmic elements pushing the listener further. Things either floated or were kind of moving forward at a steady kind of groovy pace. So I feel like the instrumentals and the vocals were done well. It's effectively just just the production now. I feel is the final sort of third point I'd like to bring up. I think the production is incredibly polished. There are just so many interesting effects and ideas demonstrated with the vocal takes there, with the kind of like, again, the overdubbing synthetic parts there, the double tracking, some of the modulation, or there was like a synth kind of bassy kind of gritty part as well at some point, the phone call filtering. There was clear attention to detail wherever Sullee J was, to keep them intriguing to listeners so they continue listening. And I feel like as well the production is also wonderful with how the different sort of string, brass, the choir, bass and drum parts are, you know, they're nicely niche within the frequency spectrum in the stereo field. There is dynamic range to this piece there. I liked when we changed the intensity of the certain tracks and certain parts, which was both a performance-based thing but also a studio thing where he was a bit quieter and a bit more subdued. It was just great to have that difference in the loudness there to sort of maintain variation within the piece. But yeah, you could hear everything clearly in the mix. Things were nicely glued due to the compression, and it was nice and loud without pumping, so the bus compression and limiting was handled. You know, it was really quite stellar in terms of the production, and that's not me just glazing, like genuinely this is commercial grade. So we've got the vocals are done well, as well as the instrumental parts, the production, the composition itself, and the production, should I say. In terms of like anything I'd want to sort of change, no, I honestly feel like this is a really well-rounded package. I think anything I'd want to change would purely be subjective. At this point, I feel like, especially for a first impression, we've got something really promising here, and I wish Sullee J all the best in future, because thank you for watching my review of this track from my next name, Sullee J, titled Burn It Down. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please go check him out via their various social medias and their YouTube page, and stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next SP Reacts. Spiderhands out.